So I'm trying to set the tone arm up now. So before I can secure these 3 screws, I have to actually get the height, the VTA, correct, of the arm. Currently, I've got the turn arm rest at its highest point. So clearly that needs to have the cantilever resting above the record. I've also got the weight to the back of the tone arm so that the weight of the is actually holding the cartridge up. So this is all just for safety reasons. I haven't got the shield on yet for the cantilever. So if I do bring this down, and it nearly touches. So that means, to my mind, that this is way too low. So we need to raise that up. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I can't remember which way is up, to be honest. Okay, this is up. Yeah, it's up. Just giving us a little bit more clearance. Okay, so we're going to let this down now. Onto the record. Okay guys, so we've been fiddling with the VTA. Let's just get that completely over with. So I've got a mirror with some grid squares. What I'm going to do is line that up to make sure everything is as square as we can make it. Okay. I think we can go down just a little bit more. Move that out of the way. Yep, that's going to be good. Okay, so now we're going to screw this down. So I've made my VTA adjustment. So I'm happy with that the top of the cartridge is now parallel to the record. Just going to put this on here. Just to protect the stylus. This is an old scratched record that's irrelevant. And to reach the back one, we have to reach in here. Okay, so they're now on. Okay. So that's the VTA done. Next, we need tracking force and alignment of the actual. Next, we need alignment of the cartridge. So we're going to use Michel's own alignment tool. So you push that on. Okay. So we need to gently place the needle on the cross. Now we have to set the cartridge up so that it is parallel to the lines. Okay, so that looks like it needs to be a little bit more that way. Raise it up so the needle's off the paper. And just loosen that off a little. Gosh, I'm really not delicate. So, okay, so that's now too much. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing, this is very boring to watch, I'm sure. Just making sure that the long axis is along these lines when the needle is dead over the X there. I'm fairly sure I've achieved that there. Okay, so now we're going to use this toner tool to check. So the idea is you pop that on there and you align the cartridge. Point A. Which is pretty good. And then again at point B. Pretty good. So it's aligned at both point A and point B, the front of the cartridge. So I'm happy with that. So on both of those measures, we've got the angle of the cartridge correct. Now we need the weight of the stylus on the record. So it's 3.2 grams at the moment. .3, 1.82, that's bang on. .9. .95. So actually it needs to come this way a little bit. .89. .67. 1.82. Okay, so basically this is done. What we need to do next is to position this in its actual final location and make sure everything's level, and then we'll test the wow and flutter and speed. Okay, so here we go. Right, so we're in the final stages of setup here, because we've got this turntable in the final location. So as you can see, the motor is lower than the platter, and the motor is on the deck, and that's partly because I've put these coins underneath the feet, but they're only a millimetre. It's more to do with the fact that we need to screw these screws down the pylons much more so that this is level. So let's get on and do that and see how we go. So I'll set you up over here, and you can watch me screw these down. So, boy, it's hot today. I'm going to hold the top of the pylon. Well, actually I can screw the pylon so as I turn this, we go lower. You see how that works? As I turn this knurled knob, we go lower. Which is why we put a little bit of grease under these to make this easy, and then it wasn't grindy. Okay. So the main thing I'm looking at is this belt has to run true in the bottom groove. The other thing that's very important is that we're not actually touching these felt pads. I think Michelle says something like 2 millimeters is the ideal. Ooh, it's close. Looks like it's running fairly true there. There's still some bounce. Okay, just gonna get rid of this grease from my fingers. Okay, next we have to make sure we've got this level. So currently this side's high. Front and back is okay. This is high. Those two are okay. This is high. So this is the high one. So what I've done is I've motored these down quite a way. But what I've realised without taking into account is that this side is high. So this side is high. So we need to raise this one up. So we can do that on the actual foot. Okay. That's good. That's good. High. So we're just going to take the base. It's pretty good. This one wants to be a little bit higher. Okay. Looks pretty good. So I would say it's got bounce everywhere. It's level. So now I'm going to test the wow and flutter and the spin. To do that, I'm going to go to an app.